We're gonna wait for a little while to see if anybody wants to jump on because this way they can see what having an unfair advantage. But we'll just let it run for a little while and see what happens, and I'll just see what's gonna happen after that. And I wanted to see if some of these people will start coming on, but we'll give it about another 10 seconds. And as you can see, I've been pumping up some of my thing. I was going to try and do a green screen for you guys, but I was thinking, this might be a little bit too, it might be just a little bit too much. I just wanted to say that, some of the things might be just a little bit too much. So I just figure I just keep it easy. But today's topic, let's go down. Let's go. We'll just let it run for a little while. Just keep it easy. But today's topic, let's go get that music down. Let's pump it up for a little while and see what happens. All right, guys. Well, let's go start this. Get that music down. We're gonna start this broadcast right now. Put the headphones down and see what what's gonna happen. Let's mute my phone, see what happens, because this way we can start getting to this, so you guys can get a early head start. So you guys seen? I did a live video. It's driving away from my car yesterday, going into work, and I thought maybe this might be pertinent to what's going on in your life right now. But I want to just say that everybody has a chance to have an unfair advantage to everyone else if they was to put in the hard work, the time, the effort into figuring out what you want to do for tomorrow. I just had a recent post, Facebook, they add those memories, and it's been exactly 1 year since I started doing this. I had my house, and it's felt like 10 years, but actually I've accomplished a lot. And I kind of like understood that I want to have an unfair advantage to most people out there, and that's just from me being a very competitive person. Whether it's I'm competing against myself, competing against computer, competing against everybody else in the world. But until I figured that my purpose is to serve and contribute for other people's successes in life, whether it's figuring something out that they can do on their own on their spare time, like I've done, nothing comes to fruition, because every time I've been selfish, nothing worked out. And so when I came out of my my incarceration, I figured I'm going to change everything around 180 degrees and figure out how I can contribute more to other people and show them the path that figuring out that you got more to life than what you're currently in right now. Will it be understandably painstaking sometimes and frustrating? Of course, when you are in my situation and you figuring out that something's got to give, something's got to move forward, you got to do something that will change your life. It's always going to be that one thing. Maybe that one thing might be an emotion. Me, I work off of anger. You know what I mean? If I get angry at something, I try to figure it out, how I can make it better, how I can do things to make it more productive, more fluent, more systematic, more thing. But the one thing that people don't realize, that we're all built on emotions. Now, everything, even though I don't have many of them because I've been jaded from my situation, but that hasn't stopped me from trying to gain them all back, because those are one of the things that somebody asked me the other day, like, why do you call the book Stop Tripping Over Pennies? Because when I tripped over the small things in life, which wasn't going to matter to me before, it kind of like bit me in the ass in a long time ago, because I didn't gain all these emotions, all these small little things that meant to put those memories in my head so I can gain those things. And it kind of bit me in the ass because it hinders my relationships, it hinders my friendships, and it actually, me coaching other people to do the right things has brought me back to the moment where I haven't tripped on myself lately. You know what I mean? Whether it's, money is not everything that's going to be happening in my life. It's gaining the respect, the integrity, my emotions back, so that I can relate to people on a different level, so that they can actually maybe one day work with me on a project, go into business with me, do some investing with me, so that they can have that advantage in life later on. Maybe not tomorrow, because instant gratification is not going to work in this day and age. Sure, we live in an Uber society. Sure, we like things fast, easy, entitled. But if you're on the opposite end of it, being situated so that the advantage is on your side, is going to take some reading. It's going to take some soul searching. It's going to take some accepting of terms of what you got going on right now. Will it be something that you can do? I'm living it right now. I tell you honestly right now, it was hard. It was hard. A lot of the stuff that I've accomplished, and things that I have gained, friendships, memories, my house, the supplying of everything in the house, and running a household. My PO said, I'm not supposed to have all these things, but they've seen me grow into a person. And as of making this video, I have exactly 100 days, and it's really exciting and painstaking and frustrating for me also, because it is something that I wanted to accomplish personally, to be able to stay clean, stop tripping, stop going for the other things in life that really didn't matter. And I didn't trip over financial. I didn't trip over wanting. I didn't trip over a lot of things that would have led me to this point if I looked at the smaller picture. But I always looked at the bigger picture, and that was the reason why I called it Stop Tripping Over Pennies. Because the only person that's in your way is actually going to be you. Every day you wake up in the morning, you do things for reasons that it might be different reasons for you, might be different reasons for me, but a lot of the things that you do, you got to take a quick look at what's important to you 5 years from now. You see me do multiple businesses, you see me do a lot of things online, and a lot of the things they paid off. And now I want to share these things with you, and it starts with grabbing that book that might give you that fair advantage in your life at this moment, at this time. It could be one chapter, it could be one phrase, it could be something that might push you in the right direction, like I've done with countless others, so that you can actually have that unfair advantage from your neighbor. Financially set, have an endless bank account, get away from dealing with situations you would currently deal with in your way. And maybe my book might be able to help you understand a little better what you have going on in your life right now, because I wrote it in short stories so that people could understand where a person like me is coming from. And then Tuesday I did a talk with the Real Talk program, and there was some real heavy hitters in there. Basically, and we all feed off each other, and we all have the same message. And like when I gave him my book, he goes, "Oh, this is a good title of a book," because he tripped over himself and pushed his family away, pushed everybody away, and pushed everything that meant important to run the streets. And me coming from the same background with the same turmoils, but it all started up here. And in the next month I'm going to see him again, and he's going to see what we can accomplish together. But all I want to do is the same for you, because a lot of the things that people do now are really for the wrong reasons. And I know from experience, because I've lived it. I've lived the pain, the suffering, the hurt, the not having a lot of these memories. And I don't want that for you, because you're tripping over your own 2 feet. And that's the reason why I called it Stop Tripping Over Pennies. And remember, you're one emotion away from getting the lifestyle, the job, the business, the relationship you want. And it's all going to start with you. Guys, it's Aloha Friday. I want you to think about it over the weekend. Watch next week for my other videos, and see how we can get together and work something out, so that let's get this in your hands as fast as possible. I talked to my publisher. We've dropped the price of the book, but what do you have to do is go to stoptrippingoverpennies.com, and even if you can't afford it and you want me to shell out the bill, just give me your name, email, write a little note when you go into PayPal, send me a dollar, send me $5. Something has to be processed over there. But I'll get it into your hands and figure out how we can move you in the right direction, so you can have an unfair advantage to other people, not just tomorrow, but maybe years to come. All right, guys, It's Aloha Friday. Let's go pump up this music for a little bit. And I want you to think about it over the weekend. And I wanted to ask you another question. What is stopping you from gaining the life you deserve right now? And let me know. You know, you can put it on the Facebook page, you can private message me, and we're going to talk about this topic. As you can see, I've been doing this for a little while now. And the direction I have, I want you to learn from my stresses so you don't have to go through the pain and suffering I've done over the years to learn this. All right, guys? This is Gordon Watt. And happy Aloha Friday. I'm going to leave you with this message for about 30 seconds. I'm going to cut it off. I want you to have a good one. Bye. No work till Monday.